Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a side event overview video. Now you'll probably notice that in your inbox you had some lovely things, and you can see the various different side quests here, which we're going to test out. The ones that I'm going to be doing, and as well test out whether or not the how good the legendary difficulty is. Are they difficult, blah blah blah, those kind of things, to give you a bit of perspective, because I have been told by many of the people in the Discord that if you are uncollected, you do see the option of choosing legendary, and that's the choice you have to make. You don't have to make this decision now because it's very kind of just relevant to, you know, what you can do. You know, you shouldn't feel forced to do something you don't want to do. And these have 27 days of runtime. So you've got plenty of time to make a decision. You don't have to do it now, but you have the option to go, look, can I wait a few days? Yeah, there's a time. It's not time sensitive, which is very important. On your store, you will see under featured item, that is Jubilee's Arcadia prize card. You can then select it by doing this means, and then you get the option. Now for me personally, I'm more inclined to be doing the shards, especially as I want to do another 6-star crystal, and especially in fingers crossed I can get some good stuff. Rank ups wise, I'm fine. I'm chill with. So I am going down, at least for my first voucher spend, is going to be on the shard side of things. You see the right is rank up, left is champion crystals. So for me personally, I am choosing champion crystals. And then from this point, you'll then get yourself tokens. Now so far you should have picked up some tokens. That is indeed correct. Where these tokens be? Well, they're on screen at the moment. They're special tokens. But there's going to be a bit of a question mark as to where you get the next ones. The next ones will be in a week's time. You should have seen a video from me that basically talked about the fact that there's a bit of a miscommunication, or there's a bit of an incorrect bit on the forums, which I think confused matters with this. But we've got to move on. I'm going to try out some of these arcade machines or games or quests. But just before we do go over those quests, again, something to point out is, again, to clarify something if you are a little bit confused about the situation still, is that it looks like when you go to choose your respective different types of arcade quests, like we're going to go do now, if I go to a side quest, I then use one of my tokens to set my type of thing that I'm going to go into. Like now, I click the token, I go in. It's applicable to the one of 15 that you trigger off from here. So if you are a case that only if you feel that you can do legendary and you might be uncollected, then yes, you will get and do some of the legendary prize card things. Or the choice is going like, okay, well, I want to get what's in the epic prize card for the epic or the master or stuff like that. So if you do epic, you get an epic prize card stamp. But if you are already a part of the objective done, but if you choose any other difficulty, that's how it triggers off. I think that explains it if you aren't really familiar, because it's different. People can read what's on the thing, go, okay, that's it. But people like to function by seeing and doing. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. I'm personally going to do one of the blah 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 long name ones, and in this video I'm going to be doing a spiders in time Big Apple. I mean, I could switch it up, but the thing is I just need to keep a track of it. Like, I could do the first 8 this week in one. I then could do like a further 8 next week in a different one. But for the purpose of this video and showcasing, is there anything different, I'm just going to choose one of the 2 that I need to do in any case, but just for a showcase purpose. Because this quest is called Spiders in the Big Apple, I'm just going to choose champions that I know will counter Spider-Verse. Well, I say that. Now it's, well, yeah, I mean, that could work. That sort of works fine. What is it with that? It's kind of weird. I don't know what this thing is. It's like got yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. Let's have a look at the champions you're facing off against. It's 6 stars, 111,000 specific nodes to them. Coward. What's this one got? Aegis. We've also got Extend, and we've got Aspect of Nightmare. Duel for the first 5 seconds. Both champions are indestructible. Okay, let's try and do this then. My champion of choice so far has got to be Falcon. There is Nick Fury, there's Red Goblin, and several others, but I'm just finding Falcon to be the most fun, especially against some of these Spider-Verse champions. Especially because we're able to do stuff like this with just the greatest of ease and effort. So, yeah, I'm repping for Falcon at the moment. It's very weird as well. Like, I've got a stamp already, so I don't know. Do I need to finish the end boss to get the stuff? Yeah, I think this fight has. This is dual, so for the first 5 seconds. You know, there's no hitting. So I'm going to go into that. And I'm going to go scale into that there. Yeah, so if you time that well, especially with Falcon, you go into locked on. And you'll swipe back, go into locked on. And if you time your parry well enough, then you'll be able to like hit in to stuff. And that's your second stamp. So you get the second stamp for completing. It's just going to be as simple as that. But that seemed to work relatively well. We get the 2 stamps as we've seen. I have kind of like cut this video for time, so I have just showcased like a couple of fights. But let's just do the other one now, the other arcade. So if you want to know what my team was in the Spider-Verse one, it was Apocalypse because of the way he interacts with evade champions. Venom because he interacts well against, so he counters Spider-Verse champions. Red Goblin because he counters Spider-Verse champions. Nick Fury and as well Falcon. To be honest, of those, I like using Red Goblin and Falcon. I didn't have a chance to use Nick Fury and I made a few mistakes with the other ones. Apocalypse works well, but it requires a little bit of a ramp up with the evading. And now let's move on to mutants, and that's going to be quite important now who I take in against mutants. I will be taking in Apocalypse. I don't know the setup. I'm going to try just before getting in, just have a look online, see if there's anything. But that is why this video is meant to serve purpose. Let me make the mistakes so you can give some better options as to like who you take in. And as I really don't know who I'm going to be seeing, I will use this team here of Apocalypse. As many, I mean, I could use literally any kind of combination, but I don't want to risk it and find there's going to be something weird. I had a funny feeling that I would see a Nightcrawler, and I think that's where Apocalypse may come into his zone. Wow, okay, there's a all right, there's a lot more than I was hoping for on this route, but I have guessed pretty well in this. And Slumber, okay. This is going to be tough. To a degree, tough. I think that there will be some really good options. I think I'm happy with this team. Let's hash out a lot of it, and I'll kind of talk about towards the end if I had any issues. Maybe some fights I'll showcase. Take it from there. Right, so far I've just picked up a stamp. I have had a few kind of like dodgy interactions with a few things through dropped inputs, but that's nothing new with this game. I would probably say that we get like, as soon as you finish doing that point there, you get another stamp, and then right at the end you get another stamp as well when you get to the end boss. But in any case, join me in a little while whilst we like do a little bit more of the fighting. I must admit, so far there's been some champions I thought I would have wanted to bring as well. I think especially like coming into this, yes, I've got Warlock to go up against Iceman, but I would have liked to have Colossus. And maybe as well having a champion like Corvus could have got me 2 charges to begin with doing Nightcrawler over. But that's not the end of the world. I'm sure there's like Magneto I might want to bring in right for the very end. Like have one particular champion set up for the end boss. Because, well, Unstoppable Colossus and having Magneto is a quick build-up. I could just like slap him into the corner or get him right into that corner for Slumber. And then like smash off an SP2 for massive amounts of damage or whatnot. As long as you've got a good counter for Frostbite and Cold Snap, I think you're alright. Well, more so for one than the other. But it's always important to have like just maybe cold immunity, and that's with Iceman having something like Colossus. It is always kind of like a pretty cool option to have. I love my Warlock, especially the Awakened version with the degen ramp up, which I just think is just so much more effective for damage output. I know people say, oh, it's good unawakened, and I've got a 6-star one unawakened. That's good. I just like myself an Awakened version just for the extra little spicy extra cherry on top damage that you get. I've just right then and there picked up another stamp, so I can imagine the final stamp will be from doing the last fight, or maybe it's like from the one to last fight in order to get all the stamps. So that's been ramping up nicely. Not that though, that's something different. But yeah, definitely from the legendary side, I'm working towards that. So that's nice. Right, here's the biggest problem. In 15 seconds, I have to try and defeat this champion as quickly as possible. Not the most easiest of things to do, especially when you're trying to ramp up. But if I do play this well enough, So if I go... Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I do not. I play this very badly. That's not good from me. That is not good from me. But got Beardo, and that's the main thing. As long as I got Beardo, I'm fine. As long as I've got a Beardo on your side, you're fine. I made a mistake. It's cool. It seems to be fine. It's fine. It's fine. I made a mistake. It's fine. Could have done it with any other champion better. Yeah, of course I could have. But it is what it is, and it's done. I did not do that well, but it doesn't matter. Like, I get the win. And that's the quest. That's the overview of the quest. My thoughts on the both of them is that I just think that the champions that I recommended, the Spider-Verse counters, use them. If you see what's on screen, use that. But there are other options to that, especially champions that have True Strike. When it comes to the mutant side of things, I would recommend the likes of Magneto, especially for that final fight. That ramp up quickly would be better, more effective than using Beardo. But as I said, I went into this blind. I didn't know what to expect. Having Warlock in was cool, but as well, Colossus for that Iceman fight would be acceptable. And I would recommend just maybe a few other champions to pad out. Apocalypse is not in everybody's roster, so maybe a strong tech-based champion or a champion that suppresses mutants in some sort of fashion would be acceptable as well. A champion that does huge amounts of debuff like a Mega Red, and as well Archangel. As you saw, you can take a 3-star in and as well ramp up that Horseman synergy if you so choose. But do bear in mind you have to get a win with a 3-star. That's not going to be easy, is it? But if you're looking for synergy improvements, then do bear in mind to bring in synergy champions to improve out as well. That is my take on the side events. They're actually pretty fun. No casualties, thank God. So that was pretty fun. So yeah, all good at the end of the day. Let's have a quick look at where we're up to with the objectives, because there will be some others as well. Do bear in mind as well, Kabam have removed an objective, which was about getting 150 units, I think. And you had to do like 2 different types of difficulties. That is coming back, but I don't know where that situates players when it comes to what they need to grind. But on the plus side, it looks like you only have to do them 15 times in one particular thing, as opposed to the 16 that you spend. Because you'll spend 16 tokens in kind of like final point. And that can be a case that one of those can be to do something like an epic difficulty if you're a Cavalier, or if you are, well, no, if you are Cavalier, because it only really affects no, it doesn't, anybody really. You can do 15 of one and then do one of something else. Yes, it is a downgrade in what you take home in your tokens and your arcade grind, but it does mean that you'll get that 150 units. But if that's coming back, that'll come back at a later date. So that just gives you a bit of an idea. And yeah, that has been the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check a lot of the content that I've dropped today. There's been a massive dump of new information, as well as information to keep you up to date on. So do bear in mind to check out some of the content located up there. As I said previously in the last video, if you want to find out more about why Stormbreaker Thor version has come to Marvel Realm, then you can click the link over there. It'll take you to Rich's Realm, the second channel, and find out more info about Marvel Realm of Champions. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.